It's good having you to join us on African Free Press Television for the news at dusk. My name is Leo Oket, and these are the stories we're tracking for you at this moment. The Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Godwin Osei, and 3 other principal officers of the House were on Wednesday reportedly attacked by suspected thugs loyal to the impeached Speaker Momo Jimo. The thugs invaded the Rivertone Hotel Lokoja, venue of a meeting held by members of Osei's group. Eyewitnesses reported that thugs armed with machetes and other weapons destroyed the official vehicles of the Speaker and those of other principal officers present at the meeting. It was gathered that the official vehicle of the Majority Leader Prince Kolawole Matthew, that of the factional Deputy Speaker John Abba, and another vehicle belonging to a member representing Ofu were badly destroyed by the thugs. The factional Speaker, who addressed journalists after the incident, accused the impeached Lawal of orchestrating the attack on him and his members. He alleged that the thugs arrived at the hotel in an official Hilux van belonging to the impeached Speaker, adding that the hoodlums were led by a younger brother of the embattled Speaker. The Nigerian Senate today had the Electronic Transaction Bill pass its third and final reading at plenary. If implemented, the bill will guarantee the integrity of the electronic commerce environment. Once implemented, the bill will facilitate the use of information in electronic form for conducting business transactions in Nigeria. It will also encourage and approve of the use of digital signatures for electronic transactions and provide a legal framework that will assist customers on their rights when they use electronic transactions. The Senate also considered a motion by Senator Dino Melaye on the Ajokuta steel mill, where they urged the federal government to immediately get Ajokuta Steel Company working to facilitate employment and boost this critical sector of our economy. Senator Sheikh Husani brought a motion on the tuition rates to the floor of the Senate and the attention of the senators. The Senate resolved to urge the federal government to increase funding to the Nigerian Law School. Other items considered today were the motion on global population increase and the need for Nigeria to have a comprehensive population strategy on development planning, and a motion on launching an investigation into how the funds of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) have been used over time. Chief Raymond Dokwese, the chairman of Adar Communications PLC, has been released from Kuje prison after meeting his bail conditions. Reports has it that the court's registrar verified and confirmed the various documents submitted by the sureties before Justice Gabriel Kolawole signed for his release. A record that the media mogul was said to have allegedly received 2.1 billion naira from the former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki on December 14, 2015. Appeared before the Federal High Court in Abuja to face money laundering charges and subsequently granted bail with some conditions to fulfill. Following his inability to meet his bail conditions, he was remanded at Kuje prisons. The AIT chairman was asked to produce 2 sureties with 200 million naira each to fulfill the bail conditions. The presiding judge, Justice Gabriel Kolawole, also said the first surety would be serving or retired director in the civil service, while the second surety should be a private investor who has paid tax for at least the last 3 years. And now in the South-South, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, Nigeria, has instructed his lawyers to immediately file an appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which ordered the fresh governorship election in the state. In a statement issued by Simon Waku, the Special Assistant to Rivers State Governor on Electronic Media, Governor Wike disagreed with the judgment. He said he believes in the judiciary as the last hope for the common man and would avail himself of every constitutional means to arrive at justice. Governor Wike called on all his supporters and the people of Rivers State to remain calm, saying justice will be done at the end of the day. He assured the people of the state that he will use all constitutional processes to protect the mandate they freely gave him. And the embattled Sheikh Ibrahim el-Saksaki's led Shiite Islamic movement of Nigeria has rejected an investigative panel set up by the Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Dambazao to look into sects clash with the army last Saturday in Zaria. Earlier this week, the federal government sent a delegation led by Dambazao to assess the situation. Spokesman of the Shiite Ibrahim Musa, in a statement, rejected the investigative panel based on its composition. The development is against the backdrop of Governor El Rufai's visit to Zaria to assess the destruction sites of the clash between the military and the Shiites. And the former Nigerian Minister of Petroleum, Mrs. Diezani Alison Madueke, has strongly stated that all transactions made during her tenure went through due process, as against the insinuations that she looted $20 billion. She made this known in London during an interview session with the CEO of Ovation magazine, Mr. Dele Momodu. Mrs. Madueke explained that virtually all the transactions in respect of which allegations of corruption have been leveled against her went through due process, and that the Group Managing Director of NNPC was actively involved in ensuring that the best international practices were maintained. She added that her involvement in the conclusion of these transactions was limited and that some of the contracts had been executed before she became the Minister of Petroleum Resources. Mrs. Madueke noted equally that in some other cases she only got details after the contracts had been concluded, when approached by some businessmen who complained about the terms. And now on the foreign scene, thousands of protesters are marching in South Africa to demand President Jacob Zuma is sacked. The latest protests are a reaction to him sacking 2 finance ministers last week, further damaging confidence in the economy. This comes on top of claims of widespread corruption, recent student protests, and a succession battle in the governing African National Congress. The marchers are using the hashtag Zuma must fall on the social media. And still on the foreign scene, Germany and several nations are to discuss with Turkey on ways of settling thousands of Syrian refugees ahead of the final EU summit of the year. Those attending the meeting will discuss a proposal to resettle Syrians straight from camps in Turkey. But German Chancellor Angela Merkel, the driving force behind the plans, faces resistance from other EU states. Thursday's full EU summit in Brussels is set to focus heavily on the migrant crisis, which has divided members. And in sports, we have the news that Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho has been sacked. This came against the backdrop of so many poor results on his second stint at the Stamford Bridge club. And these are the stories we're tracking for you, coming from African Free Press Television. For more, please do join us and visit our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press, like our Facebook page at African Free Press. Join us in our discussions on various interesting topics at African Free Press Forum, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. From me, Leo Oketan, and the whole team in the studio this evening, it's a very good evening to you. Do enjoy the rest of your night.